While we all think we understand all about attraction, the psychology and biology behind human, it is way more fascinating and complex than most people realize. From seemingly insignificant traits that can make someone irresistible to the reasons we develop our deepest loves, these lesser-known facts might really surprise you. 1. Women can biologically detect genetic dissimilarity. Here's a wild one for you. Research shows women may be able to pick up on a biochemical that could influence who they feel drawn to. This mysterious substance is part of the major histocompatibility complex, MHC, proteins that help the immune system recognize foreign invaders. Everyone inherits a unique mix of these compounds from their parents. The crazy part? Women seem to subconsciously pick up on MHC through a man's body odor, sweat, or other biological funks. And we're not just talking about detecting a pleasant musk. Women are instinctively more attracted to men whose MHC is most genetically dissimilar to their own. Mind blown, right? The biology here is brilliant. This attraction to a complementary gene pool could boost the chances of any future offspring being healthier with a more robust immune system. So that inexplicable, intoxicating scent you picked up on when meeting your latest crush may have evolved to signal this person could give me strong babies. Romance at its most primordial. 2. Love really can be blind. They say love is blind, but it turns out the old saying could have roots in some pretty incredible science behind physical attraction. According to multiple studies, when someone is deeply in love and bonded with their partner, it can actually change how their brain processes external beauty and attraction to other people. Functional MRI scans found that people who reported being madly in love didn't show as much activation in the facial attraction and reward centers of the brain when shown attractive faces compared to single people. It's like their partner was the only person on their romantic radar. 3. Nice guys really can finish last. Sure, we've all heard arrogant dudes proclaiming nice guys finish last, but are there any merits behind the misogynistic myth? Unfortunately, a little bit. See, there's evidence that a certain degree of unpleasant personality traits and narcissism can sometimes amplify perceived overall attractiveness. In studies where people rated the attractiveness of actors portraying various personality types, the participants consistently ranked the narcissistic personas as more physically appealing than the more humble, caring types, even when features and looks were identical. Researchers theorize that narcissists simply give off an overconfident, alluring vibe that registers as attractive despite being jerks underneath. Their self-obsession and arrogance somehow translates to seeming higher status and more desirable. 4. Sexual afterglow lasts way longer than you think. We all know that relaxing, glowing feeling in the aftermath of great sex. But it turns out the intoxicating effects of sexual afterglow last way longer than the typical one-night stand, as in up to 48 hours later for some people. In studies where participants were asked to rate their overall feelings at different intervals after intimate encounters, researchers found increased senses of life satisfaction, positivity, and lower anxiety and stress hormones for a full 2 days post-coitus. The fascinating part is that this positive afterglow effect was just as strong whether they had familiar or new sexual partners. So that relaxed Zen vibe you get after great sex, it's not just your imagination. While more research is still needed, experts believe the mixture of bonding hormones like oxytocin could produce lingering feelings of warmth, affection, and contentment that stay with us long after the initial act itself. 5. Different scents ignite different levels of attraction. You may think you're just going noseblind to your own unique musk, but research shows certain natural scents can actually make you more or less appealing to potential partners on a subconscious level. It all comes down to pheromones, chemical signals our bodies give off that influence attraction, detectable only on an instinctual level. Pheromones provide hints about our genetic coding, immune system strengths, fertility levels, and more. Certain bouquets can drive intense lust, while others may douse romantic urges like a cold shower. And we're not just talking about poor hygiene here. Two impeccably groomed people could simply have pheromone signatures that don't complement each other's biology. 6. Women with older fathers are often attracted to older men. Here's a strange factor that may influence your dating preferences without you even knowing it. The age gap between your parents. According to multiple studies, women who were born to older fathers tend to be drawn to men who are older than themselves when picking romantic partners later in life. While the science behind this is still being explored, researchers believe it could be an imprinted preference of sorts. By being around an older paternal figure from birth, women may subconsciously latch onto more mature male pheromones, behaviors, and physical traits that get seared into their female brain's attraction wiring. 7. Opposites really can attract. When it comes to love and chemistry, they say opposites attract, and research suggests there may actually be some truth to that old adage. Multiple studies have found that people frequently gravitate towards partners with complementary traits in crucial areas of personality and circumstance. For example, extroverts may feel intense attraction towards introverted partners, balancing their social confidence with reprieve and partnership with someone lower key. Or, a homebody type might yearn for a mate with wanderlust that could expand their comfort zones. We often crave yin and yang completeness in this sense. 8. The advantages of being average. While we're often fed ideals about what makes someone irresistible, it turns out that being utterly average-looking may not be such a bad thing in the attractiveness department after all. Multiple studies have shown that people with strikingly beautiful or ugly facial features are frequently regarded as less approachable than those with more symmetric, racially congruent looks. Part of this could be the abnormal cognitive dissonance caused by highly unique or unconventional looks. But there's also evidence that those who are only moderately attractive project an approachable, attractive vibe that makes them seem more friendly, trustworthy, and less intimidating to potential suitors. 9. To smile or not to smile. Here's a tip for your next dating profile pic. You may want to ditch the beaming ear-to-ear grin. That's because multiple studies have found that too intense of a smile in photos can actually make someone seem less appealing overall. Researchers believe that over-smiley profile photos and headshots come across as desperate, inauthentic, and over-eager to please. A more relaxed, closed-lip smirk, on the other hand, seems to convey friendly confidence and sense of mystery that makes someone appear more magnetically attractive. There may also be a cultural ownership factor at play. Broad smiles have been shown to make women seem more amenable and interested in casual sex, possibly warding off serious relationships. Some theorize that full smiles are associated with lower intelligence as well, not exactly a panty dropper. 10. Facial symmetry may play a role. Forget perfectly chiseled features. Facial symmetry could be the real linchpin of attractiveness for both men and women. According to several studies, the more equal and bilateral a face is between both sides, the greater likelihood it will be perceived as naturally good-looking. Researchers believe this may have evolutionary roots. Facial asymmetry occurs due to a host of genetic mutations, pollutants, or developmental instabilities in the womb. Therefore, an unblemished symmetric visage could be an outward sign of overall robust health, fertility, and strong genes worth passing on. On the other side of the coin, there's also research suggesting that a teensy bit of asymmetry can ramp up sex appeal by making one seem more unique and distinctive. So, while you don't want your features wildly lopsided, a subtle, quirky asymmetric trait here and there may add just the right dose of approachable individuality. 11. Men and women have ideal body type preferences. When it comes to body shape, multiple studies show that men and women tend to be drawn to different ideals in prospective partners. For heterosexual men, most seem to show a preference for an hourglass figure with a high hip-to-waist ratio in women. This body shape was indicative of greater fertility in our ancient past. Women, on the other hand, are typically more attracted to men with high shoulder-to-hip ratios and more muscular builds, signs of physical strength and ability to provide protection. But we're not just talking Adonis-level bodybuilders. Many women show a preference for slightly higher body fat percentages in male partners as an indicator of higher social status. 12. Players or bad boys can seem more attractive. You've no doubt encountered that brutally handsome yet big of a jerk type that just oozes magnetism. Turns out, there may be a biological reason why those perceived as bad boys can seem irresistible, even if we know they'll make terrible partners. Multiple studies have found that men who give off rashly confident, non-committal vibes activate primal attraction cues in many women. The theory is that our ancient hindbrain interprets such cockiness as a strong incentive of genetic fitness to pass on to offspring. We conflate their indifference and boundary pushing as high mate value. However reckless their actual behavior may be, it's a cruel trick of nature. 13. Money doesn't play as crucial a role as you'd think. While an ample bank account can't hurt one's romantic prospects, it turns out that raw wealth alone may not amplify overall attractiveness nearly as much as you might assume. Several studies indicate that a prospective partner's level of ambition and social status matter far more than just their pay stubs. For example, one experiment found that men with high educational attainment and career prospects were consistently viewed as more appealing by women, regardless of how much disposable income they personally possessed. Similarly, women tended to value professional status over simple money when asked what made them deem a man as husband material. 15. How your voice sounds matters more than you think. You know how some people just seem to have bedroom voices? Turns out, the sultriness of one's vocal tone may play a far bigger role in perceived attractiveness than most realize, particularly for women judging potential male suitors. A deep, resonating voice has been found to activate primal arousal in women at a biological level, the logic being that our female hindbrain interprets such lower, rumbling vocal tones as an indicator of robust physical stature and high testosterone, the better to provide protection and reproductive success. Conversely, studies show that men tend to be more drawn to women with higher-pitched, breathier voices, which may signal femininity and youthfulness. On a molecular level, it suggests an ability to more easily carry children. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comments section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.